Hello there. I'm the Marionette, and these are my predictions for the FNAF 3 movie. So, the screen fades from black. That's when we see Michael Afton standing in an unidentified room, with a single flashing red light and a faint alarm sound blaring, making it clear that this is the scooping room. We hear Baby explaining that the scooper only hurts for a moment. The scooper jerks forward and makes contact with his chest. At that moment, the screen cuts to the title sequence. This time, the sequence tells the story of the movie timeline so far. At the end of the sequence, it snaps to Abby Schmidt waking up. Still a bit traumatized from the animatronics destroying each other in the last movie. She hesitantly gets out of bed. The camera, however, stays on the bed. Abby blurs and the lens focuses on the battered Chica plushie. And for those of us who have a sharp enough eye, her fast talker, which, for the first time in years, lights up with the words, "Fazbear Frights, save us, trapped." A while into the film, Mike is shown receiving a letter. "Dear Mr. Schmidt, it has come to our attention that you have experience from the two Fazbear's locations. We're opening a horror attraction based on the stories of the missing children and the Marionette. Consider this a job offer for the position of night guard at the all-new Freddy Fazbear's Fazbear Frights horror attraction. Signed, the Fazbear Frights team." Mike Schmidt then accepts the offer after after discussing the payment. He accepts the offer. His first night is pretty simple, just basically learn how to play the game. Then, on the second night, however, he is joined by Michael Afton. His skin is now purple, with stitches and large bags under his eyes. Dark circles that carve out sockets in his eye around his eyes. Michael and Mike have to work together to try and stop Springtrap. It is on that night, too, that Springtrap is found. The rest of the nights go according to plan. They keep the phantoms at bay, and they ignore Springtrap, luring him away with sound audio cues. On the fifth night, however, Abby comes to Fazbear Frights. In the daytime, Fazbear Frights is absolutely booming, but at night, There is something more than just the phantoms and Springtrap roaming the halls. That's right. Could potentially be Vanny. Could potentially be the marionette equivalent of Vanny. We all know that Vanny was made because, well, Vanny exists because of the glitch trap virus that resides within Vanessa. She is a vassal. However, without glitch trap in this potential trilogy, we need another thing that would potentially make Vanessa properly evil, properly crazy. Hear me out. The marionette, who we see has taken control of Vanessa from the last movie, Vanessa, is basically the phantom puppet, but there's a mix between Vanny, as she's haunted by the killer rabbit of her past, and the marionette. But they're not phantoms. She's not a phantom. She takes the place of the phantom marionette, the phantom puppet. However, she is not the marionette. She is not the puppet. She is her own being that is part puppet, part rabbit. And it's all because Charlotte is controlling her. Abby visits Fazbear Frights in the daytime. She then stays there at night while her brother is on the shift, not knowing that Michael too is on the shift. It's the final night. They reach 6 a.m. with great difficulty. The phantoms constantly annoying them. They reach 6 a.m. They finally reach it. And Mike, they burn down the attraction. With Vanessa inside, and not that they realize it, but Abby too. Abby manages to escape through the fire exit. Mike manages to escape. Michael stays there. Mike tries to get him to come with him, but picture the FNAF 6 fire. Michael wants him gone, along with everything that's gone down. So Michael, he stays there. All purple, he burns, along with his father and the remaining remnant inside of him. Vanessa, the marionette gets expelled from her, and she manages to crawl through a vent and out into and that's the last thing we see. We see her crawling out of a vent. And then Die in a Fire starts playing and the credits begin to roll. At the end, however, there's an end part. At the end, we get the we get to see a few months later, we see Vanessa totally cured, totally helped at Mike and Abby's door. She has burn scars, but she's alive. And again, that's all just a theory. A film theory. Also, if we don't get Matt Pat in this film, I'ma cry. We miss you, Matthew. Right. Yeah. I don't know what this was. It was just... yeah. Anyway. See ya.